I pray that you and your family are enjoying this day. Remember, every day is an opportunity to be thankful, grateful, and loving. Blessings to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. So it is customary in the African American household to cook collard greens for holidays especially, but I typically cook collard greens very often because I love the fact that they're delicious, that it's simple to cook, it's quick and easy, and it's filled with nutrients. The first thing you want to do is you want to peel the greens, which I've already done. Then you want to make sure that you soak them in some salt water to make sure you get all the bugs and all that kind of stuff off of them, because when they're picked, they're in the ground. It is a root vegetable from the ground, so you're going to get all kind of different deposits and yucky stuff on them. So you want to make sure they're really, really clean before you put them in the pot to cook them. I always use chicken broth instead of water because it gives it more flavor, and it just tastes so much better than just plain water, because chicken broth straight from the chicken has all the spices, seasonings. Not that you don't have to put any more in there, but it just gives it extra flavor. And you can use any kind of chicken broth. This right here is very simple. Any chicken broth to add to. Okay, so every time I make greens, I kind of switch it up a little bit. Yes, sweetie, but I typically put the same thing in there for the most part. Yes, sweetheart. I'm good, sweetie. Thank you. So I add brown sugar, I add jalapenos, I add garlic powder, I add seasoned salt, Lori's at that, and I put a little, I mentioned brown sugar, and I put some other stuff in there. I put my foot in it, okay? Basically, I put all the seasons in there, not to make it sweet, but to make it flavorful and tasteful. And as I mentioned, the chicken stock does that, but the jalapenos kind of give it a little zing, a little flavor, a little spice. If you don't like spice, don't put it in there. It doesn't give a whole lot. It just depends on how many you put in there. So I just put a half of jalapeno in there, and it tastes really good. So that is the beginning of cooking your soul food collard greens. Yum, yum, yum. And as I mentioned, this is very healthy on many, many levels. It's a green product, and you should love a little green in your life. As you can see, the greens have simmered down and they're just about done. You don't want to cook them too long because they become tough and chewy. You want them with a little bite, not chewy. So I'll be cutting this off very soon. So now I'm getting ready to make my egg pie. I'm going to make 2 pies today because one will be for me and the hubby, and the other will be for my wonderful, awesome sons. As you can see, I already have the ready-made pie crust. It's okay to do ready-made pie crust for all those extra cooks out there. I like it quick, simple, and easy. So ready-made pie crust works great for me. And all I need to do is add the ingredients, pour it in the shell, bake it, and voila. So here's the turkey tails that I'm going to add to the collard greens. And I'm just adding some seasoned salt to them. I have not begun to cook them. I forgot I had them in the refrigerator. So, ooh, boo me. But anyway, I'm going to let these cook. They're already pre-cooked. So I let them cook on the stove for probably about maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I don't like them really tough. I like for the meat to fall off. And once these are done, I'm going to add them into the collard greens. And it's going to give it a little extra flavor. Not that it don't have awesome flavor now, but the turkey meat gives it that extra flavor. So if you're a vegetarian, of course, you just want to keep the collard greens by themselves. But if you like a little meat included, then turkey tails are an awesome pairing for collard greens. So the egg pie recipe is very simple. Of course, you want to make sure you got some eggs. I typically use cage-free eggs, but they were out at the grocery store, so I end up getting these eggs. And of course, I have my butter. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's like 3 tablespoons, excuse me, 2.5 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put this in the microwave to melt it. And then, of course, I have my vanilla extract. I got my ground cinnamon. And then I'm going to add some eggnog, yum, instead of milk. I'm going to add the low-fat, organic Horizon eggnog. For this recipe, I cracked 4 eggs that I'm going to put in each pie. This mixture is going to be for both pies. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I typically just go on feeling instead of measuring. You know how much is too much and how much is not enough. So I'm going to add the vanilla inside the bowl for the eggs. Then I'm going to pour that eggnog in here. And then I'm going to add some cinnamon to it. And all of this, again, measurement is so important, but I've been doing this so long, cooking this same recipe. So I typically, unless I get heavy-handed, the sight tasting works great for me. So I just added the cinnamon in there. I'm going to mix this mixture up. Oh, I forgot the butter. Cannot forget that melted butter. Cannot forget that. So I'm just going to add a little bit to it first and see how it tastes, and then add accordingly from it. And then you want to stir up the mixture so that you can pour it into the pies. And this is supposed to be kind of custardy, so you don't want, typically when I pour it into the pies, it always runs over, so I put a pan up under it so it does not get all in my oven. But it's supposed to be custardy, and it does take a minute for it to form and to cook. I typically leave it in the oven about 30 minutes. I have a convection oven, so sometimes it cooks a little faster. Sometimes it cooks in about 15 minutes. Sometimes it cooks in 30 minutes. So it just depends, and I always keep a watchful eye out for it. I'm going to put the pie crust in the oven for about 5 minutes just to get them a little brown. I don't want it too gooey at the bottom. And as you can see down here, I have my Jiffy cornbread that I'm cooking. Yes, it's Jiffy because I'm getting ready to make some shrimp dressing. And that's what I use because it gives it extra flavor and it's so good. Yum, yum, yum. So while the pie crusts are cooking for about 5 minutes, I added my sugar in here just to give it an extra ting of sweetness. It's an egg pie. It's supposed to be sweet. It's supposed to be delicious. Yum, yum, yum. So I just took the pie crust out of the oven. Kind of left it in there about 8 minutes instead of 5 minutes, but it's ready for me to add the mixture in to cook some more. So let's go ahead and pour the mixture in there. As you can see, the cinnamon is sitting on top there. You want to put just enough because it will overflow. Just put just enough. I always fill it up like in between, in the middle. And I always do a taste test just to make sure it's sweet enough. And it is. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 45 minutes to about 30 minutes. Excuse me, 30 to 45 minutes. It may take a little longer because it is a custard. Custards typically take a little longer in the oven. But as I mentioned, with a convection oven, it kind of sometimes cooks too fast. So you want to make sure that it is done in the inside because it is custardy by sticking either a fork inside of it or a toothpick and it comes out clean. But we're gonna get to that later. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in the oven right now. Yeah. So there's that egg pie, custard pie. It's done. Yum, yum, yum. This one didn't come out pretty at all. But you know what? It's still gonna be delicious. I think I'll take this one. Me and a hubby will eat this one, and I'll take this one to my boys. Pretty. I love pretty food. It just makes it so much more appetizing when the food is pretty. You can imagine it going down your throat into your stomach. Eating with your eyes can get you in trouble. So as you can see, the collard greens are done now. I added the turkey meat, kind of chopped it up in there. It smells so super yummy and so delicious. That turkey tail chopped up and everything. Oh God, yum, yum, yum. Okay, pardon me, but I did not want any traditional food for today. I made me some catfish, fried catfish. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Cannot wait to eat it with some raw onions, tomato, and my collard greens. Yum, oh yum. You don't have to stay traditional. I choose to celebrate Thanksgiving every day, and I choose to diversify my food intake and what I eat. And this is my choice for today. Do you be you and eat well. Yum. So I'm in the process of making some deviled eggs. As you can see, I put the water in there. And of course, if you're entertaining, you want to have more eggs. But for just 2 people, 2, 3, 4 people, this is enough that I think that will get eaten. So I'm boiling the eggs for about 30 minutes till they get So here are the hard-boiled eggs I was telling you about. I cracked them by running them up under cold water. Got a few pieces of bacon I had left over from this morning, so I'm gonna add that to the deviled eggs. But here is the Cajun spice that I absolutely love. I'm adding this to it as well, which is really good. Some chipotle as well as the garlic, some spicy brown mustard. Of course, you cannot have a meal without garlic powder, and my favorite mayonnaise, Duke's mayonnaise. This is all going to go into the egg yolk, and it will be the filling for the deviled eggs. Yup. So I literally love me a deviled egg. I can eat deviled eggs daily. I can also eat boiled eggs every day, so this is not a big deal for me. Extra protein, yummy, depending on the type of egg you get, but you cannot go wrong. This is a simple, quick appetizer or even a meal. So I have the egg yolk in the bowl, and now I'm going to add the condiments, the mayonnaise, this is the garlic mayonnaise that I'm adding, the chipotle mayonnaise. Oh, that one don't want to come out. Come on out there. The chipotle mayonnaise, the spicy brown mustard, as well as the garlic powder and the spicy Creole seasoning. Yum, oh yum. And then I'm going to add those leftover pieces of bacon that I had from this morning. I do not like to waste food, so if I can find something to add whatever I had earlier or throughout the day, I'm certain that I do that. Ooh, this Creole seasoning sometimes makes me cough. That little egg yolk didn't do much at all. I could have had some more egg yolk. But as you can see, it's all stirring up really nice and good. And I'm just going to take a spoon, not even a spoonful, I don't have that much, but just enough to put into each egg yolk, or each egg, excuse me. So as you can see, I started to add the mixture into each egg shell. And if I had a lot, I will put this yolk inside of a plastic baggie and put it in so it looks pretty. I like pretty food, but this is what we're gonna get today, okay? It's still gonna be good. Ain't nobody gonna see this but me and the hubby today. But I like for it to be nice and pretty. And it looks pretty good so far. Yum, oh yum. And I typically powder it with some paprika. I'm out of paprika, so I gotta just improvise on what I have. I'm not gonna put any more of the Creole seasoning on it because I have enough on there, but that is my Cajun deviled egg. Yum, oh yum. I'm getting ready to tear these up. I can eat all those by myself, but I'm gonna save at least 2 for my husband. Thank you for watching the Startup CEO Lifestyle TV. If this is your first time here, do not let it be your last. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. If you're returning, thank you for being a part of my family. Blessings and peace unto you and yours. Make it a great day.